Welcome to the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. podcast. I am your host, Mr. aka Jeffrey Mr. My other hole is in Africa right now. So, all right. So come on back. Get these kids. Get these kids. We got some special guests for you today. Special guests today. We have Daniel and Lauren Weber. Give it up for them, everybody. Woo! We don't have sponsors. You clap for yourself and everything. So sponsors, please come through. Show some love. And we talking about today, should you change for marriage? My single people, you watching? Should you change for marriage? If you've been married, did you change and whatnot? So before we even get into it a little bit, I'm gonna let you guys introduce yourselves real quick. If you listen to a podcast, that's how it is when you kind of see who's going first or whatnot too. So we got.
So I'm Lauren Weber.
And I'm Daniel Weber.
And together.
And together.
You see what we did there? Because you see that? We still keep it going. So thank you all for joining us. How long have you guys been married?
We've been married, it'll be 7 months later this week.
Oh.
I mean, a year and 7
Okay,
months.
I was at the wedding. I was like, hold on. See, hold on. See, if the guy would have said that, if the man would have said that, it would have been a problem. It would have been going down the whole time. So it's good that she was able to.
A year and 7 months.
Okay, year and 7 months. Okay.
A year and 7 months.
Okay, cool.
Time flies.
It does when you're having fun.
It feels like 7 months.
And see that? That's good. That's a nice way of saying it. That's a nice way of saying it. So a year and 7 months. We have Ms. Miss and I have been married for 13 years. We wanted to bring on a couple to really get into the topic that we have today. Should you change for marriage? What do y'all think? Should you change for marriage? I know some people are like, nah, you should accept me for who I am. Huh? You married this, you knew what you would get. Huh? And you got some people that say, well, I love you, so I need to change. I can change for you. So we're going to get into it today. So before we get into a little segment that we like to get off. But first we say that, right? So if you're not following us, thank you for everybody who is following us, who's already rated the podcast. Kara Amos, appreciate you. A couple other people I was reading on there who have rated the podcast on Apple Podcasts. We're on iHeartRadio now. Mama. Huh? My mama, huh? You know? iHeartRadio, Spotify, anything like that. You just search for the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast. Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast, rather. And also too on YouTube. So if you watch it on YouTube now, also as well. So thank y'all. So appreciate y'all who rate. That's how we get knowledge of people knowing about the podcast. And tell another human about the podcast, all right? You know somebody at work. You know somebody that's in a relationship. Or somebody's single. Somebody's been married for a while. It may just be married, right? So we jump into it. So we like to begin when Mr. and Mrs. is here, right? We like to begin with a little segment called Whose Side You're... Hold on. Whoa. I'm so disrespectful. Excuse me, y'all. I'm so disrespectful. We've got the theme song. And so y'all the very first guests in here, in the house right now. The very first guests right now. These are our friends too. We saw them get married a year and 7 months ago. We've seen them date for a while. We're gonna talk about that a little bit too. So good folks, good people here. Hope you can learn something too. So thank y'all for coming on the thing. But it's a tradition, even though y'all the first people on the show. The start tradition, exactly. The start tradition to do the theme song. So if you don't know it, just sing along, butcher with it. Sing along at home, okay? 1, 2, 3. Laugh, learn, love. Laugh, learn, love. Laugh, learn, love. It's the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show.
Laugh, learn, love.
Laugh, learn, love. Laugh, learn, love. It's the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show. Yeah. Let's start the show. She was doing the thing. There you go. Thank y'all. I knew you were going to kick it in too. So, now it's official. Now y'all official the first people.
Okay. All right.
So, all right, before we get started, like this, start with a little segment called Whose Side You're On. Where every episode we like to laugh, learn, and love. We're going to start off with laughing. Okay. So the question for you guys is this, right? You have to pick. You have to pick. So you guys, year and 7 months, still feel each other. All right. Let's say you're at his job and you get that feeling, right? Who would you rather? who would you rather find you making pancakes, getting the yams? That's our topic here. Getting the yams, if you will. Your in-laws or your pastor? Who would you rather get caught in the act? In that, you got to see whose side you're on in this situation. Would you rather be your pastor or his parents or her parents coming in and seeing you?
Wow, I wasn't expecting that.
So we don't tell them what the question is to get this reaction right here.
So,
we don't get this.
So you're saying who would I rather?
You got to pick one.
To catch me and Lord.
Yes.
In that.
Y'all, no clothes anywhere, nowhere to hide. Would you rather your pastor or your in-law? So her parents or his parents, Lord, would you rather have find you in the act?
Me?
Uh-huh.
I would personally rather her parents.
You gotta tell us why. So you rather have
it's not gonna affect me. No.
So you gonna
it's not gonna affect me at all.
Okay.
I'm gonna sleep at night.
Fair enough. It's gonna be good.
Right. And I'll still be able to look at them and be like, hey, how y'all doing?
God bless you now. God bless. Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll kind of be a little weird. It's the pastor. Shout out to Dr.
So there we go. So okay, understand that much. All right, Lauren, you gotta get caught. You don't want to get caught, but let's say you have to get caught. You gotta choose the side you're gonna be on, and y'all can decide too whose side you will be on in the midst of this. Let's see. You don't have to pick the same month. You can pick, or you can pick the same month.
I'm gonna go with my pastor.
Oh, so
because
okay, yes. Tell us why.
I only have to see him.
Oh, so that's a good
Maybe
point.
on Sunday,
That's
if
a
he
valid
happens
point.
to catch me.
That's a valid point.
His parents, I have to see at Christmas and Thanksgiving and on weekends.
Yeah, you like cut the turkey. You already cut the turkey. Pass the dressing. You already passed the dressing. Yams. You want some yams?
No.
Oh, you want some yams? Oh, y'all. Now you don't want no yams. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
So Thanksgiving becomes a little bit different.
Right.
When you come around that side.
So I would just say from the standpoint of the interaction afterward would be
what you have.
minimal. So I would say my pastor.
Good point. I know I'm not a part, but I would probably say my in-laws because should I tell you? We have already got some yams over there, I think. So, so we love y'all though. That's what the Lord wants to do. I was gonna see it. That's why I was gonna throw it back to y'all to see if y'all don't put that there. Don't put that there. So we'll keep on going. Keep on. Okay. So that's a question. That's a good Thanksgiving topic question you can ask yourself to say if you have a son-in-law, daughter-in-law, parents, or whatever, saying, have y'all got some yams over here before? And see what their reaction will be, and not the kind with the cinnamon that you sprinkle on there. The other kind of yam that you had. So yeah, that'll be my take of it to see what it is. So, but I'd rather them because I think they may already know, but this at least that'll solidify. It's like, hey, y'all should probably knock first or wait extended period of time. Go ahead and get out the way now and just see what's going on. But I definitely understand what y'all saying. I'm getting that piece there to go. So, all right. So that's it. So if you are there, you can select. If you're on social media, you can go ahead and let us know. Would you rather your pastor or your in-laws? Whose side are you on? Both. Couple of names. I already said that. Pastor, who would you select?
What do you think Dana would have said?
Well, I think, that's good. Since she works at the church, her frequency probably a little bit. I would love to hear. So, yes, if you in Africa, go ahead and put yours down, too, when you get a chance. When this airs.
Shout out to Mrs. Mister.
Yeah.
Co-star of the show.
So, yeah. So, she already been caught by her daughter. At least she can't get no, and we're going with nowhere up from here. Nowhere we're up from here. But speaking of her absence, she would probably say her in-laws because she works at the church. And that'd be interesting to say hey, all right.
For sure.
So definitely. Okay. jumping into the
Did she
top.
approve of that question?
I know. No. She never really approves of any of the questions. That doesn't stop me from kind of going through it. I think
another shout out to Lisa Vincent. I'm gonna shout you out the whole podcast, baby. Another shout out. Go Flames. Right.
So yeah, that's a good question. Good report. Yeah, we haven't really gonna go. I try to get her to meet in the meetings before this. Sometimes it doesn't happen, and so this is what we get. So there we go. She should have went to Africa. If she didn't want that's what she got to learn. That she got to learn. She got to learn herself to get that. So today though, we're talking about man. You guys are a year and 7 months in. Congratulations on that side. How long did you guys date before you got married? I think we get a lot of messages from like single people like, hey, how long did y'all date before you got married?
7 years.
7 years. Number of completion. Number of completion. And one of the most DM'd questions that we have, if that's a word, DM'd is the question, right? We'll go with it. Is how did you know? Because we're talking about change today. Should you change from what? So let's get the walk up first. So how did you know? I don't know who wants to go first on this. I guess. Okay, I get the that's it. She pointed the little. If y'all didn't see it, if you listen to the podcast, she hit a little silent point down. She hit a little silent point. So it goes there. How did you know? That's one of the questions we get all the time. Say, how do I know? I look at this joke all the time. We eat pizza together. She can dance good. You know, we like to watch Netflix movies and stuff. We can hang out.
Thanks.
I know. Hey, be careful, my people out there. We didn't have Netflix coming up, so we had to just chill. But how did you know? 7 years again. How did you know that I'm gonna go down to wherever and lock this one up?
I think as men, we initially kind of get a feeling when we're dating or we're interested in a young lady, if we're gonna try to pursue them and be serious.
Most definitely.
It was no different with Lauren and I. I knew the conversation was different. I knew the interests were different. She was able to hold my attention
Go Lauren.
for a while. I just kind of knew, like, even when we just first went out on a date, and it was somewhere simple like Baskin Robbins.
I'm lactose intolerant. I would have told my stomach up, but it's good though. Y'all had a good time. I would always lactose intolerant though. I don't think I would have been able to.
I mean, but the reward of ice cream is
I see what you're doing there.
You know. You're silly.
It's gonna be fun.
But the conversation it never lagged. It was continuous conversation, and then it's funny because something that she did that kind of stuck with me, and I had never had this before. So even after we had left and we gone, so I'm on my way home or wherever I was going afterwards, but I'm on my way, and she was like, I really enjoyed talking to you, your company. I was like, I was actually thinking the exact same thing.
Together with it?
Yeah, I was actually thinking the exact same thing. So from that moment on, we talked or hung out every weekend from that point. So,
cool.
So I kind of knew it was different.
Cool.
It was different from previous.
Cool. Lauren, same question then. So. On the receiving end of that side, so you enjoyed the ice cream too as well, right? You seem you enjoyed the ice cream. Cool. Okay. Y'all was just eating ice cream up in the
It's
breakfast time. Like, you want some ice cream?
I can.
Yes, he can. But to the question at hand, a lot of the same things. To Daniel's point, that first interaction was it was different, and I did take the next step after we had our first kind of meeting and date, if you will, and just followed up and say I enjoyed the conversation, because I truly did. But also, and I was having
communication, y'all. See that they're talking.
Yes.
They're talking. Y'all gotta. I mean, texting somebody's good, but that conversation sounded like something that y'all were really vibing over.
Oh, absolutely.
What's up?
Absolutely. I prefer conversation.
That's what's up. Yeah. So learn something, young fella. Learn something, young lady. There you go.
From there, I mean, a lot of the same things. I will say, I guess once we got serious, I think just some things where Daniel showed me he was, you know, a hard worker, and he really cared about his family, and just really kind of just really being, you know, just a very stand-up guy that was just like, okay, this is kind of, you know, serious, but these are all the things that, one, I've grown up where my parents have instilled in me, like, these are the qualities you should find in a mate. And I was talking with a friend of mine, and used the term unicorn.
Okay.
Because, you know,
okay.
there are some non-unicorns out there.
I like the way you put that. It's like, that's the nicest way I've heard. It's like, it's some scrubs, some scallywags.
There are some non-unicorns out there.
Use some unicorns.
Might have interacted with
That's good.
But I found this unicorn, and just kind of knew that, wow, like, it's different, and I want to see where this goes.
Gotcha.
And here we are.
Gotcha. One question we have, so thank you all for that, right? So I'm going to count to 3. I want you to say a time frame of when you knew that person was the one. So you don't have to look at each other. Don't try to give each other the eye, because I haven't told them about this, and that's what we love on this show, to put them on the spot, but in a good way. Okay, you just go say out loud. Don't try to mumble. He's like, so say definitively about when. Oh man, I wish I could get y'all to text me what y'all times are. Y'all can tell, you don't have your phone with you, do you? No, okay, good. That's fine. So that's fine. We can say it out loud, so y'all see it right here. Okay. So because people, I always get this question like, how long do I like? We good for 3 dates, but what I need to do, like, how long do I know? And so
you know when they're the one.
Yeah, when you like, yeah.
Like the one as far as this the one I'm gonna be with the rest of my life, or the one as far as like this the one I wanna seriously pursue.
Good question. Good question. It is 2 different sides. Which way y'all wanna go? Well, tell you what.
Wait to see if they
the question. I know the question that I guess I get off most of the time is, I know they're the one. So this is the point that. And it can be different. That's why I just want to hear what your natural thing is. So when I know, like, I don't know, like it's the last bite of the ice cream cone. You're like, you know what I'm saying? The way she crushed that last bite, I know that's the one for me. So on 3, y'all ready? Y'all got y'all time frame down? That's it. Do it again. Okay. So all right, on 3, you're gonna say it definitively aloud. All right. 1. Dramatic pause. 2. 3.
2 years top.
Oh, that's pretty good. Pretty good. 2 years, 2.5. 2.5. So there we go. From example right here. Year 7 months in, 2.5. 2.5. For Miss and I, we were friends for 4 years. Before that, we were dating, and then we started dating, and I proposed in like. I want to miss time frame up here because it's a little bit, like 10 months though, which is crazy now. I think of it. We were cool. We had skipped a lot of the beginning phase. In the beginning phase, you're like, look how she burped. Look how, you know what I'm saying? Look how cute it is. We kind of went past that because we were friends already in the sense of this. So talking about today though, right? So thinking about that part, right? The ice cream, the Baskin Robbins, whatever y'all went to, you know what I'm saying? Got that, and now a year and 7 months in. So thinking about that. So our topic today is, should you change for marriage? Should you change for marriage? Should you stay the same? Should you change? So, thinking about that, what's your initial thought process? Thinking where you are now, ice cream time, smiling, cheesing and whatnot. You're still smiling now. I don't want to say it like that. Not saying that. Marriage is good, okay? Saying that. It's a good thing. It takes work, but it's good stuff, okay? So, did you have to change for marriage?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, that's why I want to see what it was like. No, I ain't changed nothing.
No.
Because some people say that though. Some people say, I am who I am. You got with who you were. You should have never proposed to me if you got this one. I ain't finna work out ever again now. I got you. Hope that's not your take. Hope that's not so good. It's not a good look. It's not a good look.
It's not a good sign.
But now, okay, if we're saying that marriage does change you, or you do change for marriage in a sense, what areas do you feel like you changed in now? So you guys are still kind of fresh. Well, I won't say fresh, but you're still close to both sides of the fence. So what's the area do you feel like you changed? Do you feel like it was something that your spouse asked you or wanted you to change it, or something that you wanted to change in yourself? So what is the area you feel like you've changed in? Oh, that's the point. There you go. Yeah. So now you get a little point this time too. So, okay, there we go. There you go.
I'll say for me, one thing is marriage is a big exercise in selflessness. And for me, just I was on my own. Well, I won't say on my own, but I was single for a while. So it was about me. It was about what I wanted to do and when I wanted to do, how, things like that. But getting married is no longer about me. So one thing that I won't even say I've changed, that I'm working on, is that I have a whole entire husband to consider.
Whole entire husband. I love that. You hear that? A whole entire husband she got to get to.
To consider when any and everything comes up, that I shouldn't make decisions without consulting my husband, because one, he is the head of my household, he is my covering, so I have to clear things through him first.
You recording this?
Yeah, you can play this back. You can play this back at any time. You can play this back at any time. Round the clock.
It is an exercise in continual
Lon,
selflessness.
So you said something. You said you're covering in that sense of what it is like. Ooh, okay. I love that. Okay. All right. Then you feel like you changed, or when you say yes, what area do you feel like is a glaring thing I won't say glaring, but like something that comes to mind, first thing that came to mind when you're thinking, yeah, it's part to be changed in marriage?
Yeah, I think everyone kind of changes, or should change when you get married, because I mean, you have to sacrifice, you have to die to yourself daily.
Ooh.
You have to wake up and say, okay, what can I do to help make my spouse better? What can I do to service my spouse? I think that is what makes an effective and a productive marriage, so to speak.
For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely think that I've changed, or I'm a work in progress and changing constantly. Because I feel like it's levels,
Oh, for sure.
It's definitely levels.
Definitely. We 13 years, I'm still like, man, we was in the last podcast on your show. We was in that thing arguing before the podcast. So it's something that you change, that you try to work towards. One thing we talked about off air yesterday, I think, of like being a student of your spouse. So it's like, to be a student of your spouse, you have to, it's a learning process of any way you go and grow.
We're constantly evolving.
Yes,
as humans, we're constantly evolving. So we change, and we might like red one day, but we might like blue at the end of the week. So we have to be able to accommodate our spouse.
Man, exactly. So what if, like, you guys loved ice cream before? Now you're a year and 7 months in. And Lauren's like, ice cream? Why you keep bringing ice cream to me? Why you keep bringing ice cream to me? And you're like, that was our thing. That was our thing. And so, to me, it's like, how do you adjust in those moments to a new person? Every day, every week, every month. Like, the same Lauren that you have now is not the same Lauren that was before. And so, what if some things about her you don't like? What are some things you don't like about Danielle at that point in time? How do you kind of go through those things in terms of change for us? And it's an ever evolving process to kind of push into what that looks like. So I have an article too that says the marriage affects 6 things that change after you say I do. 6 things you change after you say I do. What do you think those 6 things will be? Before we even jump into it. So if you want to look at the article, it's by Emma Straub, Straub. It's from Brides. It's pretty recent, from 1019, so pretty recent article as well. So right now, so what do you think? What do you think those 60? If you could just run through, not you personally, it could be you personally. It's the same space. So yeah, what would you think, Ms. Straub, were the people that they got what you call it, votes or whatever from, right? Like in terms, what do you think those 6 things would be if you would say what they would be? Just run down.
Finances.
Finances. Okay. Just throw something out there. Could be right or wrong. Finances. What y'all think? You let us know.
Intimacy, maybe.
Intimacy. A dramatic pause. Is it? We're gonna go. We got some more. We got some more shows coming up about that. About the difference between after kids, before kids. After you say I do, like when you're not supposed to have it, now you can't have it. Does it change it? Okay, so intimacy / sex. I'm assuming. That's what you. Okay. Finances, sex.
Not to say for us.
No, no. This is a safe place. This is a very safe place.
Just
this is a very safe place. Very safe place. Yeah, you want to make sure. Thanksgiving's coming up and Christmas, all the things, holidays coming up. Okay. Run down any more? What you thinking? See, finances.
I didn't even think about finances, but
because now, what if I have been okay? Who's the spender? Who's the saver with you guys?
I'm a spender. I
wish y'all could see his face. If you're not watching, they didn't say that. He gave a look on his face there that indicated that he didn't want to say, but Lauren gave that point about that. And so,
I will admit that.
So that's a change. That's a change of saying you operate in a certain space. You're like, okay, I got my check this week or 2 weeks, whatever. Yeah. You're like, this is what I'm doing. I'm put this back. I'm put this in a 403k, whatever, blah blah. And Lauren's like, I'm not saying I don't know what their situation is. We haven't talked about this before. This is just coming up organically. She's like, oh well, listen, it's crab leg Thursday, crab leg Wednesday tonight. You're like,
She's improving. She's improving. She shows, she's improved
a
whole lot, and she, I think we all have our things that we kind of splurge on.
Oh, definitely.
That we're willing to splurge on.
Definitely.
And I think she's
doing a good job.
Yeah.
She's doing a good job. That's good.
She'll find a sale in a minute.
Come on, like you look good in those gently used clothes you have.
Yeah.
That's good. Y'all pushing towards that. There may be some more conversation to have later, but good stuff for now. So 6 things. Before I even read it off, I was thinking, like you said, finances, sex, changes, time, right? So before you may have spent a lot of time with your friends.
I was gonna say
you may have spent a lot of time with your family. What happens now if you like? I talk to my mama every week. Go by after church every Sunday. You like, well, I go home and kick it. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, who's going to adjust when you go at the same time? Holidays. If it's around the holidays, which house do you go over? You go like, well, my mom. We always have something. We have a tradition. We go to. Well, my folks have a tradition. Who's going to be that person you kind of give into like that? That's something I was thinking too.
Gotta switch it up every year.
Yes.
Alternate.
Yeah, exactly. Also too, when kids like come into play, how do you raise them? Like we're what I think now is the flu shot. I'm like, we ain't getting no flu shot. She's like, well, you ain't gonna be home with them if they get sick. So that's still ongoing. So please make her listen to me. Don't get submit to me. It's another time we're going. Submit, woman. I'm just playing. Of course, in love. Too far. Okay. See that? Okay.
Use it percentage.
Exactly.
So I'm not always up against it.
Daniel and I agreed. I'm messing up here. I'm just telling the truth. Okay. I'm gonna say that for later too. We're gonna go into that. We should get back.
Shout out to Mrs. Mister.
So, okay, here we go. So, going back to the article, right? The marriage effect, 6 things that change after you say I do. We'll see if these are true or not. I'm gonna run them down. Number 1, you address each other differently. What do y'all think about that? You address each other. It took me about 3 seconds into the ceremony to know that things were going to change. For starters, their pastor called us husband and wife, and the words were immediately and acutely electric. So in terms of how you all address each other. Now before, I don't know if it was different before, like, that's my wife now, that's my husband. Before it's like, oh, that's Lauren, that's Darren, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a different thing. That's babe. That's babe. It's a different thing too. It's more than just paper. People are like, oh, it's just paper. It's a different thing when you get to a covenant relationship. In a covenant, it's like, oh, snap. Mine was like putting a ring on. I never really went jewelry before.
Right.
I was like, I don't know how I feel about this thing. I don't know how I feel about this.
I think it's usually like that with guys.
Yeah.
When you have a ring, it's like, oh, this is a ring.
Yeah, for life, what is that?
Yeah.
So now I don't even notice it because I love it. Wink, wink. But but no. So like being able to dress each other differently is something about you work differently. One of the most satisfying shifts in changing from an established couple to a married one is the feeling that everything we do is for both of us. So now thinking about, is it for both of us? Is it something that we both can push into? So is there something that you think about differently? You work differently. You work differently. Is that true? Do you feel like, cause that was a contention for us, is like, as the save of the spirit, that can be something that comes up all the time. It's like, you know what? Like, okay, how do we set this up to where it works? And so we're working towards something, but
for sure.
How do we push on that? Did you all see any of that? Like, or was
I mean, I think if you have goals for your family, and if you want to build
it's classic
your
saber
family,
talk.
then of course you have the extra incentive.
I'm like, amen, brother.
You have the extra incentive to get up and go to work, and you
sure.
you work hard. It's like, okay, I'm gonna put money away for this, for the future. So yeah, I think you work.
I got you. For the same, well, did you? I'm not saying you did. Not that it's not just place, but just in terms of that you like, okay, as another person coming on board, there's more of a salary thing. So now, like, I have a cushion, and I don't know if this is the case. I don't know if this is the case for women. So women, please tell me. I need to be educated on it. I don't know, but I'm thinking like in terms of you think like, hey, now like I have another person that's I'm covered. Ooh! Oh, I got a covering. Hunter Shabbat, ho ho. So I don't have to, like, if something goes wrong, I have somebody that can depend on them. Is that not? It may not be your thought. Do you think women can take that? You think women?
That's one way to think of it. That wasn't my kind of going into marriage. Like, oh well, I could just, I can say whatever I want to at work and lose my job. I love my job.
Hey, exactly. I lost my job. You're going to have to grind. You the man. You're going to have to grind.
Definitely coming in and understanding that this is, like, we are together. So this is ours now, even though, we have our respective careers and brings in, money. But everything that we do now goes towards us, and that, what I have is his and what he has is mine, and we work together.
To change.
Before we, even while we were dating and, before we were, we were our own independent people with our, doing our own things. So to say like, okay, X, Y, and Z store, sponsors. Sale or going on trips with my girlfriends and like
both of us traveled a lot, and both of us love to travel. So I mean, it was nothing that just
like we going where? Okay, cool. I'll be there days off work gone. But now it's like, okay, well, we have some, again, going back to goals. We have some goals that we're trying to achieve, and there are trips that we both had to turn down because it's not, here is our goal, and us doing this or doing that does not help us meet a goal. So we had to make sacrifices, and which means one, either those trips, some of them have been, guys trips or girls trips. It's like, well, this is my travel buddy now.
Yeah, so, y'all hear that? That's another thing that we love to do too, is travel together as well. And you get a lot of things, like we didn't have kids for 7 years, I guess, at that point, but it gave us the time to kind of travel together, to learn each other, because the kids gonna try to rip you apart. So it's good to have somebody on your team. So Ms. Smith, if you're watching that, remember who on your team. It's only one. It's 4 people in our family. We got 2 kids. It's only one person I selected. So no shame to the kids. Long and left it. So yeah, we love them too, but it's only one person I selected myself first. So yeah, we got to keep that bond together. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you work differently. Number 3 is you fight differently. You fight differently. So in each of her previous relationship, all she needed was an itchy trigger finger, and then it was done. Poof, over. I know I got some fellas like that. Yeah. As soon as the argument starts, it's over with.
Yeah,
Don't say nothing to me.
I
Don't
have
do
low
nothing.
tolerance.
Low
Yeah.
tolerance for.
And then if you kind of on the fence with them anyway.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's pushes it
like,
way over.
Thank you.
Exactly.
You have a nice life.
Exactly. 2 checks, please.
Right.
2 for $20. Let me get your $10. Applebee's. And so,
Right.
And so, yeah. So, definitely that. Like you fight different. Now, when you're married, it's a different push in terms of fighting differently. Why? Why do you think it is? Why do you think?
I mean, it goes back to the covenant that you made.
Yeah.
I mean, simply commitment. For better or for worse.
Yeah.
Gotta stick it out.
Yeah.
Go to
Some
the
people run a
corner
game
and
too.
come back.
Some people run a game too. Like men, there's a stigma that men don't want to commit to something. I don't think we don't want to commit. I think it's just a point of like, do we have to commit with you? I think that's the biggest point. So if I could get the Doritos, the Rotel, and the wings for free for the most part, unless I'm somebody who just wants to get in a covenant relationship with that person, there's no incentive for doing it from their perspective. So I think having a stance, so ladies who may be extendedly dating somebody for years and years and years and years, who y'all been together for 37 years, and he gonna propose this year, I know, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you almost gotta kind of communicate of saying, this is my expectation for what it is, and being firm about that, and not going back. Because we can tell you like, okay, let me just wait till it's cuffing season. I know she's gonna be right back in the point. So it's like being able to get there too. I know it kind of off the track of like fighting at that point, but maybe some single people watching too of like, what I need to do. So set your stance and saying, this is what I have. And so don't let somebody use up all of your good years of your life. Well, not to say that any year is a good year if you're alive, but don't let somebody use up 15 years of your life. And then,
Absolutely.
125%.
Same, because they will.
Yes.
People will treat you the way that you let them treat you for the most part.
Facts.
So, and that's what you have. And so,
Facts.
just buck up. Say, it's too good. You want some of these yams, huh? And you're going to go to the self-checkout line at this time. So, yeah, so having that. So being able to fight differently goes into making it. So fighting differently, there's a difference, there's a covenant there. Number 4 is you look at the world differently. Security is not a sexy word. No one goes to brunch with her girlfriends and coos about how steady she feels, her toes curling on the table. For me, it's the best feeling in the world. I was lucky to have a supportive family, my parents, my brother, and I also felt like a unit as a house of bricks. So you look at the world differently now in terms of I have somebody that is on my team that I know is at that point. So ladies, I'm telling you, for fellas, like respect is something we talked about before. Like it's huge for them. Huge for us, rather. And if their respect is not there, that's going to be the biggest boundary. So thinking about, do you respect them? Is there trust? The trust is, that's why I said that trust is messed up. Yeah, that's 112 in terms of that.
Right.
But like, so did you guys look at, is that something you guys felt like in terms of trust or security measure, or like having somebody you can depend on now that's now family, like that's closer than your mom and dad who you've been with for the...
Yeah, I would say, yeah, it does, like, you have your own, like, it's now I have mine, you know, I have my family now, you know, it's, and we are, you know, especially being newer into marriage, like, we're creating our world, we're creating, you know, who we are as, you know, husband and wife, and what we want the future to, so it's exciting, you know, to just be like, we get to create and mold and build this thing together. So yeah, we definitely, the outlook on just life in general, it's like, oh, you know, I get to come home and we get to go do, you know, that whole like, oh, you know, I guess it's a ladies thing, but
yeah, that's good,
the we piece of it.
For too. Yeah, Dang, how do you feel about the same thing different?
Oh, absolutely.
Put you on the spot.
No, you good.
I will though, but
you good, man. I'm stoked about building a legacy. As far as family goes, I'm excited about it, man, because I honestly think that the possibilities are endless.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
Working together, you can do anything.
Sure.
What Kevin Garnett say, anything is possible.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly, for real. Exactly. So it's something that can,
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man.
That's what's up. Look at that. You feel a little something. You hear a little something now. Oh, I love it. I'll read the last two. Number 5, the world looks at you different now. So for some people, being married doesn't substantially change things, But to me, it makes things different because it's highly public act of faith, hope, and optimism. Make a public act of like, this is who I choose now. And for anybody else who's saying something different about that, it could be different than that. But now you guys have made a great win, by the way, too. I enjoyed myself. I sweated my perm out.
I appreciate it.
So yeah, enjoyed myself. Great win, man. But it's like after the wedding too. I know a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on the wedding day itself.
Yeah.
How much of that afterwards do you feel like is there? Because you guys were in. That's another thing too. You guys were in a magazine for the wedding too. If you want to check out the wedding.
Southern Bride magazine.
Southern Bride. There you go. Check it out. Check it out on.
Sponsor them.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Sponsor
I'm sorry. Yes,
Mrs.
Southern Bride. Southern Bride. Come on now. We just said, come on now. Hello. Hit me up. MR.MISTER. Right now. I got the phone right now. I can check your message right now.
For sure.
And you see it. So yeah. So definitely that. But check them out. Great wedding. Great thing. But so many people put emphasis on the wedding itself.
Right.
And then you wake up the next day like, it was beautiful. This joker sitting over here looking at me now and breathing and carrying on. I didn't know you breathe like that when and there's a different take to it. So trying to have another lens about that.
Yeah.
I think definitely, going into your point of just like in our social media world, like the emphasis is put on the spectacle of the wedding because it is, because you want it for the gram, your hashtags, all that good stuff. But that literally, like our day, we were engaged for like a year and a half. So we spent a year and a half planning. It went by just like that.
Snap. You hear that, people? Somebody fighting right now over the napkins that they got to put down this day.
And I'll tell you what I was looking forward to most. Getting on that plane and going on the honeymoon.
Wow.
I could not wait till the wedding was over.
Get down.
I'm grateful and I appreciate everyone that came out.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So
I was looking forward to it.
Yeah, but that's good to hear from somebody afterwards. Like, hey, because somebody it's a point. Like they get into blows over something that may not even be.
It'll blow by.
Big at that time.
Let it go.
It will blow by fast.
Because those little, and I was saying this is coming from an event planner, so hey Dana. Those little details.
Yeah, exactly. You can holler us for events too.
Yes.
Mr. Vincent Design.
Yes. But those details, like you pay so much attention, like. You're the only person that's going to know that something is not like you wanted it. The guests, they're just happy to be there and want to be there with you. So don't let little baby details like that ruin, the experience, but also then that's what you walk into your marriage with. Because you were fighting over napkins or place setting.
Small thing, exactly.
Who's coming to the wedding.
Yeah. Yeah. You have your ex. You invite your ex to
No.
There it is.
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea. Somebody think, well, we friends, we cool now. We friends now. No, let them eat their own cake. Let them eat their own cake, exactly. Let them feel some type of way. That's good. You got a new relationship you're working on. Last one is time moves differently now. For them, it's been 6 years, the same amount of time we were together before we got married. Does it feel different in terms of time? Like, has that year and 7 months felt like it's went by fast, or are you in San Quentin? Do you feel like you're like marking off the days each day with each other?
It's flown by for me. They're, talking to actually coworkers a few days ago, and it's like, dang, I can't even believe it's been a year. Year
I was thinking when y'all telling me.
It flies by, but I guess they say time flies when you're having fun. So I guess we're having fun. We are having fun.
Exactly.
Yeah. Same with me. People will say, hey, it's been a year already, but yes, it has flown by. That's why it's time to knock these checks off. Off the goal.
Start knocking off to get into it. So tag team together. So that's the heart of it all.
Yeah.
So change. We've been talking about change today. Talking about like should you change? Somebody who's been listening today talking about I'm not gonna change. I am who I am. What would you say? Just a quick blurb for somebody who's stuck in this point of saying it may be a female, it may be a male, maybe somebody that's sitting back that's looking like, nah. If anybody gonna get with me, they're gonna accept me for who I am. You know how it go down. Point blank, period. No cap. You know what I'm saying? The whole night. So, what would you say to somebody who is still in the fence of saying, I don't have to change? If somebody is my soulmate, they should be perfect for me just like they are right now. Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard that before. You heard that before. They should be good for me. They should accept me for who I am.
I probably have heard that before, Jeff, but it's
That's
probably
it.
they're not women.
They sit back looking at that.
They with
the pork rinds.
Right.
Sit back eating them pork rinds. You ain't got to change. Sit back there doing your stuff.
Right. I probably have heard that before, but I'll just say this. I mean, I think it gets sweeter, or it is sweeter, when you sacrifice serving your spouse. If you're so busy serving your spouse, then and the other person's so busy serving their spouse,
that's a little gumbo. That's the perfect gumbo there.
It's sweet. I mean, both parties they'll be happy.
Yeah. To get
so if you just concentrate on that, then.
Well, that's some good advice there. Lon, you got anything on that in regards to that person? Look right there, or speak directly into the mic, both of them, because we got somebody listening to the podcast, somebody watching on YouTube as well. But what would you say? Just a quick blurb for them. Somebody that lady, let's just put your female you're talking to. They're saying, I don't have to change for this man. This man should love me for who I am. God made me this way. If I act a fool, God made me this way anyway. So that's how it is.
So you gonna go there?
No, it's not me.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna, if you're gonna go there with,
say that one time. I was talking too loud.
God loves me how I am. The Lord knows my heart, but God asks you to change as well. He asks you to lay aside, change some things about yourself that you could be. So I would say to that person, if you're not willing to change, you're not ready to get married. Just gonna be honest about it, because it's going to require you to change. It is going to require you to do some things outside of what you thought you would never do. And I'm not saying that you are a doormat. I'm not saying that you are. Disclaimer that you are to be abused or anything like that.
For sure. Yeah, but, get out if that's the case.
If you are in those situations, there are resources that can, that definitely that you can take advantage of. But in all seriousness, marriage is going to require you to change who you are, because it is literally two people coming together as one. So those two people cannot operate as whole together in the same space. You're going to have to lose some stuff. Your partner is going to have to lose some stuff about themselves, so y'all can work as one. So if you're not willing to change, or if you just feel like this is who I am and I'm not going to. I mean, you're not
ready for marriage. I'm just saying, point blank period. She said it. So when you got the dates, somebody got the dates already. They got the dress already picked out. But they got that mindset they don't change. So she tell you right now, save you a lot of time later, a lot of money later, a lot of other stuff later to get that right.
Right. Yourself. And I would say too, just if you feel like there's some work, go get counseling. There are resources.
Premarital counseling beforehand. Go through some things. Great books you can read too.
Yes.
Have a conversation.
It was helpful for us to go through that premarital counseling and get wise counsel, get help, kind of think through some, help us think through some things as we prepared to get through marriage. But that's, what helped us to say, okay, we were ready to move forward, but also that keeps us, as we're continuing to navigate marriage, that we go back to our counseling sessions. We go back to those words of wisdom that we've gotten to say, okay, all right, we learned this in counseling. Let's go back and let's try it. Try it again, because there's going to be a lot of learning about someone, he messes up one time, I'm done. Going back to Daniel's point of covenant, you're in it for the long haul, so it's got to be one that, okay, how can I help you? I got to sacrifice, and now I got to put in work with you to help on whatever that is, and vice versa. He has to sacrifice for me to help me get better.
And then also to add to your point, it's not going to happen overnight. You have to have patience. I mean, if a person is a certain way starting off, you have to exercise patience and allow them time to develop and grow into evolve into that person that you've seen in them. So
definitely that. So your love work for this week, folks. Your love, folks, is get with your spouse, your mate, whoever you with right now, and ask them to say, hey, what is 1 to 2 things that I could change about myself that would help our relationship? Ooh, y'all hear that question right there?
Yeah.
So that's because you know what we do? We get defensive when I hear something that you need to do this. Let me run down and listen to that. But here's the caveat though. You cannot verbally respond to what they say. You hear that right there? So 1 to 2 things. Ask your spouse this question right here and say, hey, I want you to think about this. You don't have to answer right now. But I want you to give me 1 to 2 things that I can change about myself, but you have to tell me how this will help us together. Not just what you don't like, but how this will help us together. But I can't verbally respond. And then it has to be vice versa. Now, don't do a revenge list. I'm like, ooh, I don't like your mama with her mustache and goatee. Don't do that, okay? It has to be something achievable, but it has to have a why behind it. And then don't tell them what you're gonna do. Don't give a reason why it's not happening, and let that show through your actions. So go to that point. So you see what I'm saying? So giving that list, but you just take a breath. It may be something you don't want to, because change. Anytime you get some type of like criticism, sometime about something, it can internalize. You're like, well, I've been cooking all this time for you. You feel like this? It's not a negative of anything. Not a I know how folks do. I know how listeners. I know how listeners do. I know how y'all do, because we've been there. Listen all the time. Like, so I'm gonna leave it there. It's a love work for this week. Please let us know how it goes. We want to hear how it goes from that point. Anything else? Anything else before we close out?
Man, I've enjoyed it, man.
Yeah. Man, give him a round of applause. If we had some sponsors, we would have somebody. Let's go through.
You get a car, you get a car.
Yeah, we can go down. We can get down and see. So, yeah, thank you. Thank Daniel.
Shout out again to Mrs. Mister.
Thank you.
So, listen, y'all perfect too. It's gonna be like 12 days without this. So 12 days out of the
in the jungle. You 12 days in the jungle.
Yeah, I've been built for. I've been doing. So yeah, thank you, Lord. Appreciate that. So that's one thing too. I feel like I should have one request without a question when I get y'all fair to that. What you think about that, Lord? You think that's fair?
I would say, Dana, the kids are good.
They say, look at that. Hey, you didn't even hurt a child.
They're good.
Record a podcast. You didn't hurt a child. So before we leave, I'm imagining to do this as well. Y'all could. We like to, get to your spouse, your mate or whatever. Look them in the eyes. So you might have argued all the way through this episode. We want to end off on a good note as you talk about change, because it can be rough. Look at them, look them in the eye, and tell them, I like you, I love you, and I want you. Get a little sugar from them. You see that? You see how I do it? I ain't had no sugar in 12 hours. My blood sugar so low. Appreciate that. Salute to all the fellas out there holding down. Look, if your girl locked up.
Shout out to FaceTime. Shout out to FaceTime.
That's what we hold down. Exactly. So yeah, so you can't do everything, but it's good. So look, I'm gonna stop right there, Lon. You know I go too far. But thank y'all. We love you. God loves you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. I'm gonna let them sing us out as we lead through. Nah, we good. We gonna sing it. See how? But all right, come on back next week. Great show next week. If you have not told anybody, tell everybody about the podcast, Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast. We trying to keep families together, man. You gotta talk it out before you walk it out. All right. Oh yeah.